damaged, you get a statue of rejuvenation. And I thought that this would be fairly simple, where the puzzle king talks to you. It's like, bye, you sure have been busy. You may as well give up before it's too late. And then you're supposed to ring the bell, show him that you're not going to give up. A lot of people love the bell. I had this bell and the exact same signs, actually, in the first labyrinth that we ever created. So this is directly out of that first labyrinth. And I think it's really cool to have the bell ringing, especially if you're doing it with other people and you're the first one to get there.
Yeah.
So now you get to the labyrinth area, or the city area, which is just kind of, I don't know. At this point, I think you would feel this huge excitement because you've been staring at this thing for hours, and now you're finally inside. The first design decision that I needed to have was the ability to walk right up to the castle.
Right. That's something that right away on day one you said you want them to be able to come into this place and be able to explore and walk around freely, open, and make it feel like it's not really a maze anymore. It's a city, and that you're actually able to walk right up to the castle, but not actually be able to get anywhere still.
Well, that was the goal, right? The goal is to get to the castle. You can get right to the castle. That's where I thought people would go right away. A lot of people didn't that I saw. They kind of kept going like it was a big maze, thinking that they couldn't get to the castle. And this was my line of thinking. I needed to have some sort of story and direction for people to go. The first place I thought people would go would be the castle. That's why there's a sign right here. Please go away, no visitors allowed. Signed, Nogbog. Like I said before, every sign is some kind of clue. In this case, the clue is that it was signed by Nogbog. Right? And when you're going through the rest of the city, realizing that there's really not that many ways to go, and that every way is kind of blocked off to you, you see a house called Nogbog and Bognog. Should pique your interest. You should go through them, and the first thing is you see the sign that says, Bognog, you let all the horses out again in the stables. You Bognogglehead. You left the back door open again. P.S. I took your bed. Signed, Nogbog. Trying to infuse a little bit of humor there. But that's the clue, right? Go to the stables. They left the back door open. And then you can go... So Nogbog basically say, I took your bed. And then you go into Nogbog's house, and he's got 2 beds. I don't know. I just found that the most hilarious thing ever. Because it doesn't even fit in there. How did he get the bed in there? I don't know. Anyway, so you go to the stables. There's a lot of there's not really that many places that you go when you go through there. You find when you go through the castle or the city, everything is locked except for this one building, the Goblin Barracks. You can go right into it. You can climb right to the top. Gives you a nice little view of places that you can't seem to get to. Except for here, which brings you right into the stables.
Gives you a place that looks like you're actually getting places.
Yeah. I would say that this is probably the first red herring of the city. This leads nowhere. But luckily, it could potentially lead you to a good place. So
right. So this platform here, you have 2 ways of getting there. That you can either do what we just did, or you can come up this ramp from outside.
Yeah. And what people notice
And what
right
you'll
away.
notice is that if you're in the stables at the beginning, both of the stable doors are locked.
Well, this one's open. You can get
No,
in
sorry, that's
here.
not right. One of them's open. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. One of them's open. You're right.
And the reason it's open
Actually,
is
you had them.
because if people dropped in here, which who was it? Somebody dropped in here and then was basically like, I'm stuck. I can't
Locked
get out. I'm locked in here before they tried to just go out the gate. Now remember, I'm on a character that for some reason has the ability to go through gates, so I'm just going to kind of tell you which
Right,
one
you have permission.
you are and aren't allowed. So you can go through this one. You can't go through the other one. This one's locked out. So people,
Right.
I found some people are timid. They don't want to go down into this gate. They think that it's locked. But if you look, and the reason I chose in particular round pole fences is because it's harder to tell for some reason for people. They can't seem to tell which one is a fence and which one is a fence gate, even though they're different sizes. Maybe because they're kind of like, I don't know, they have a lot of holes.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, there's another little weird thing that happened here. You see where I'm standing? So before, we didn't have this fence here. But you were somehow, for some reason, able to walk along this little ledge here. I don't know if you can show them with your mouse. This little ledge, you're able to walk along and get to that platform across the way.
Which is where you need to go.
Which is where you need to go.
So
we
what's
had
funny,
to build this.
so the story was like, so we had Retro go through the entire labyrinth just to see how long it would take him to go through it and to figure out the last little bit of clues that we needed to build to just for the harder parts. And he went up there, and the first thing he did was just walk across there. And I was like,
right,
you could walk across there? Like, that takes away the whole point of
like, here, maybe I can show you.
You can
here.
see it in this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
You can just walk right across like that.
Like, why?
Because this is like a little. It's actually the bottom portion of the bottom wall allows you to just walk. It like sticks out more than all the other ones. And it's only this level that you can do it on. You can't do it on the second level or the third level or any other levels, just the bottom level. And that's
so we
why
didn't know that.
Exists.
Right. We didn't know that, so we had to put that fence there to stop that.
Anyway, so you fall down there and you make it into the area, and the clue was the back door is open. So you're supposed to say, oh, that's a back door. One thing that, do you think if enough people walk through it, it packs because it's not supposed to be packed dirt? I don't know if there's a way to fix that.
Right. I'm not sure.
Do you have the
how that
ability
happened?
to
I don't
dig?
have anything to. I mean,
Really?
I can cultivate it, but I need to climb up here. Do I have the ability? Yeah, I can cultivate it. You should too. I gave Nasili a whole bunch of permissions, but I don't have anything to make it a grass.
Hold on 1 second here. My phone
You do have a sprout in your inventory.
needs to get moved out of here. All right.
You can plant that sprout that you have in your inventory there.
I can, can't I?
And then we can just chop it.
All right. Guess we'll have to do it that way.
Yeah, I guess because of if enough people walk over it or something, it gets packed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would
Interesting
really
thing.
be nice for it not to. You want to chop that?
I'll chop it.
All right. So you make it around, and as far as what I've seen in this city, I think people basically get what I thought they would, how they would go through it. They basically do exactly what I anticipated, which is pretty amazing. I don't think I could have asked for a better turnout to the city area.
Mm-hmm.
because they get
Yeah,
stuck for a while, but then they figure it out. Like there's always a way. I have seen some stuff that made me question whether people would figure it out or not, but they eventually do. So you'd fall down here and you make it to the residential area where you were looking at before but couldn't quite make it there.
hey, on the edge, EDGJ says they're still locked. They're still lost in the castle area over there. Had to log last night. I was there before I finished it. So if you keep watching along, we are spoiling the whole labyrinth here for everybody.
Okay, so first thing that I expect people to do is go down this opening. It's normally what they do, or try to get through this fence. Normally it's locked. I'm assuming it's not locked for me because of this character. All fences are locked. Even this one, all of them are red herrings. Going down here is a red herring. You're not supposed to go down here, but it's extremely beneficial if you do. And that's because of the clues that I put in here. There's specifically 2 clues that help you immensely if you have gone into this residential area. Particularly this one, which basically says, Bognog, you didn't finish the fencing, and the dog statue fell off the ledge again. Alright, that clues I need to be looking for a dog statue. The second one, in particular, I think we streamed building the items inside of this house in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
but right after the stream, I remember we planted this sign.
Yeah. Bognog, boss needs more blue rugs to cover the openings. Alright, so you gotta think of openings and blue rugs. So that seems simple enough. You keep those 2 things in mind, you'll get out of the residential area. If you at first we didn't have those clues, and it was particularly hard for people to kind of take the leap that they needed to take in order to make it to the end. This way is the second huge red herring, I guess. Designed from the beginning to be a place that leads nowhere. Is very tempting to go up this bridge. Extremely tempting. But you go through here, and that fence is locked, and you can't get through anywhere else. You can see here, I love the view. You basically are looking right back. You can even target them. Right back at the Puzzle King, right where you started. The views are just amazing in this place, I find. So what are you supposed to do? I purposefully left this open for the people that didn't explore enough. They might think that you have to fall down here. For the people that did explore enough, they realize, or you would realize, that if you fell down there, you would just make it to the beginning of the city again.
Yeah, and you have to go back to this table.
You're not that far in, so it's not as big a deal. Alright, so what you're supposed to eventually explore enough, and okay, maybe I can't see out that one. And you're supposed to see out of the window, or see out of the top, the dog statue sitting there. And the clue is like, okay, the dog statue, I better go there. The fencing's not done. And then you see that there's some fencing there. Remember that fence is not supposed to open. And then no fencing here. So are you supposed to fall off here? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure when Retro came by, he was questioning heavily whether he should fall down there, because he thought that if he fell down there, he would get stuck. He thought we didn't do it on purpose, essentially. And we did it on purpose, and he fell. Eventually, he fell. Just like that.
I think that's what made you put the dog statue clue there.
And I put it there because of retro. And oh god, there's somebody died here. Maze Runner, who also was a character created just for this. Alright.
Yeah.
And when he fell, what was funny is that he thought he was stuck. He didn't see the door, and he used his GM powers to port himself out of this gate area. And I'm like, whoa, like, come back in here. Look what you didn't see, because usually you don't have GM powers to teleport you through a fence. So he came back in. For people that don't have those powers, you would not be able to get through there. Come back here and see the door, and that's the goal. You see the door. So, what did Anda say? I never noticed the dog through the window, but I went looking for missing fences and looked down. The dog verified for me I was in the right place. There you go. That's exactly what we wanted. So the clue helped me on that part for sure. And that's why we did that, because of how retro reacted to that area.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you make it through. It's essentially just, at this point, you're kind of excited that you're actually going places. You're seeing on the opposite side of what you were looking at for so long. You see all of this stuff. I tried to make it as open as possible so that you could see other players, let's say, going through the labyrinth, or you could see where you have been before, and it gives you a little bit of progression. And hopefully that's why everything's sort of rope bridges and arched walls, and everything's just sort of open on this side. Whereas if you notice, nothing's open towards the castle. You can't really see anything. I mean, here's the room with the colorful carpets. This was purposefully left open so that you could see this clue one last time, just in case you missed it. Normally I find people just run right down the stairs. They don't kind of look at this stuff. This is also purposely left open. You go, oh, why is there a door there? Big house of Blogtrop. And you never know. Maybe at that exact moment that you're standing here, somebody walks through that door who's in the house and like looking right at you, and you can converse.
And of course, they're not looking right at you because there's a clue there. We'll see.
Yeah, there's a clue like you can't reach if you're on the side. All right, so you go through here. I remember having a debate over whether we should put a fence here.
It's
well, at least you could see it on my screen.
The backup lag.
Yeah, whether you could put a fence in this place, and I ended up choosing not to put one there. And it's just sort of another way that you can get back to the city. I haven't.
You should notice. You should notice that if you look around before falling, you'll see that there's the archway to the castle.
Yeah, and that it's mostly for people that just aren't paying attention. I left it open, just a little extra thing that people could fall through if you're not paying attention. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing that we did when we walked in here is I left a ladder that led down. And I remember you were going through this part in particular. And you made it into this house. And you went down the ladder into that room. And you thought, I think this was before I put the sign up. Before I put the sign up about the blue carpets.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, did I go the wrong way? Like,
right.
There's nowhere to go. And you saw that there's a door that leads out to this part. And you noticed right away that you've been there. You've been to the stables. You saw the stables house, and you went back up the ladder and back across the bridge, thinking that you missed something.
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't missed anything. So I got rid of the ladder.
I see. So you have to fall now into the.
So you fall in.
No, actually, that's a good move. Actually, I didn't notice that you got rid of the ladder because once you fall in here, the person
supposed to go back.
There's no way to go back.
Right.
So you're in a new place. You know that you have to go forward, and the only place that it looks like is this way with a sign that says "Get out."
I've seen some people just they zoom through that door. They don't even look through the door. They're just like
out the door,
out the door, back into the beginning, almost the beginning of the city. But you still, you're not that far away. No. So you get the clue of the blue carpets. You see the blue carpets on the ground. People get it all the time. This one right here is an opening. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now, another thing that's nice about not putting that ladder back is that even after you get down here, you still have a confined area that you can explore that you're looking for the next thing to do, because people get stuck after this. And while we were on stream on the opening night, we watched, I don't know how many people get stuck in this one spot from here to the next puzzle.
Yeah. So I'm a little surprised how hard this was for some people. So they go up here,
I'm not.
They make it to this room. Lots of doors. And there's nowhere to go. The sign says basically that there's doors everywhere, but I cannot find the one that leads to the castle. What did I miss? The clue is miss. So you miss something. You miss something inside of this building. The only other part of this building that you've been into is this hallway that everyone dismisses.
We should explain that every door in here is either locked or lead. No, yeah, it won't be locked for you. Did you fall? Be locked
for me, and I just fell right out.
Well, at least you can get back in. Because so for everybody who's in here, all of those doors should be locked, or if they open to a roof, though, so you can't actually get anywhere.
I better make it to a statue of rejuvenation soon.
Okay. And then the sign should indicate that you missed something, so you should then head yourself back down this hallway here.
And you should be able to see that there's freaking fireplaces here. There are fireplaces there. Now, I'm surprised how well they blend in, actually, yeah.
They actually blend in very well, and unless you mouse over them...
There's like a hole.
Really see. I know. I know. But if you're not looking for them, it is a little...
There's a lot of people that go back this way. Okay. And
I saw lots of people call that little part cheeky.
And then what is hilarious is that most of these doors are locked, right? You don't want to be able to go through those doors. But this door is not locked. And I've seen some people, they charge right through that door.
What door is it?
Almost the second they get through here, and then they charge right through this door. They don't even look through it. They don't do anything. It basically leads them right back to the beginning of the city.
Yes.
But most of the other doors.
So that advice that I gave earlier about like just pick away and go, when you're in this area, you have to be a little bit more careful about that. But that should be obvious because there's a lot of drops and a lot of doors.
Yeah. Obviously, you see this way, and then people see this huge drop, and they're like, "I'm not going that way." And they see this area, and it looks a little safer. So, also, and I'm finding that people did not notice this as much. I'm not sure, but you see a door there, that door is Puzzle Castle. I was supposed to be like sort of tricking people, thinking go that way. That's inside a Puzzle Castle. So you go that way, and essentially it's just a 1x1 tile room, nothing in there. That's how it was for a very long time. This fence is locked, that fence is locked. You're stuck. So I put a clue in here. And this is why Sir Puzzleton says this. The castle mocks me from the inside. Will I forever be trapped? What are the importance of these items? So the castle mocks me from the inside. So like you finally sort of, the first time that you make it into the castle, and you can't go anywhere. It's just like, it's just
I completely forgot about that clue.
Will I ever be trapped? You look inside here. The BSB says for the mine, right? Because you're about to jump into a mine. You don't know this yet, but that's what you're going to do. And there's some pottery bricks inside. What is the importance of that? What are the importance of pottery bricks that are labeled for a mine? Everything else here is a red herring. And don't have any signs associated with it. So what is it? Next thing that everybody notices that they can do is jump down here. All right, you ready?
Yep. Now the correct way to jumping down here so you don't get hit is if you just press forward, just from here, and as long as you're not hurt and walking slow,
as long as
you press forward, you'll fall right into the mine.
Yeah, if you make it into the mine, you don't get hurt. So then you can examine.
Right. And then there's a statue of rejuvenation in case you do get hurt. Perfectly
Maybe
placed.
You can talk about this place.
I love this room. You ended up designing this room, but I had this idea of, this was supposed to be the oubliette. It was supposed to be a little room, but it got kind of big, and then you made it look really epic. I really love how it look in the end, the unfinished obelisks and the pillars.
Yeah.
And then the secret door, which leads us out.
Spirit gates. The secret door, which is directly from the movie. Let's read what Onda said here. For the mine, this part I got stuck on at first. Someone actually sort of spoiled it in chat. Is why I made it through. I don't think I would have jumped that otherwise. You don't think you would have jumped down into the mine? You would have just get stuck.
I know it. It does look questionable. Walls. It does look like you might get stuck, but there's definitely nowhere where you can get stuck in this place.
Oh my
Everywhere.
God, I see. Look at our local.
Hey, Kilroth and Karina made it.
Yeah, I hope you guys are not watching right now. Please give a sign to us right now that you're not watching us.
Yeah, hopefully you're not watching, because there's a lot of
That's a good sign. Nothing.
spoilers going on right about now.
So, yeah, we don't want to spoil it for you guys.
Yeah.
Watch this video afterwards.
So of course there's a secret exit. You go out this door here.
And now it's just epic fun. This took us forever to build.
I see people walking through here not even taking a second to admire the amount of mining that went into this place, but it's insane amount of mining. I wanted to make this pit sort of like you had to fall really far down, and there's a reason why it had to be very far, is because on the other side we actually built this backwards. So this was the last thing we built, was this area. We had gone down really far because I wanted there to be lots of different levels and wanted to make you feel like you were going really, really far down into the mine, which you are. So this is, the bottom. It's quite obvious what you have to do because it's very easy to see the way that you have to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to climb over this thing and drop down into this little small area, which I've heard you say this is one of your favorite rooms in the whole thing.
This is my favorite room in the whole thing, right here.
This is your
I
favorite
said
room,
it
right?
again. I just had this idea. Let's have a room where there's just a whole bunch of doors, and once they introduced uh, all the different stone types and all the different kinds of buildings that you could build, I thought that would be perfect to just. I think at first I wanted to just dye the stone different colors, but once they had these different types, this worked out perfectly. Every single door is a different type of door. And if you didn't see that clue, you would just go through, what else could you do? You just go through a door.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw that clue, you would see, oh, pottery bricks. What's the importance of that? You get here, pottery bricks. Now, one thing that I did notice, some of these doors, we forgot to change the names.
Right. That's what I'm doing right now.
names?
I noticed, yeah. And you didn't bring Feyran down here, so one of them, I might have the permissions for it. But I did notice that as well on somebody else's stream that we didn't rename these. Turn back now while you still can.
All right. So let's show some wrong way. So let's say people went through this way. Let's see what happens.
Give me another name. Oh no, I can't change the names of the ones that are yours. So the idea of this room was that what we wanted was there to be lots of doors. You go through one of the doors and it brings you up and around some kind of path and then back down into the room. So each door brings you up and you have a couple choices and then it brings you back down.
People notice that in mines there's a lot of restrictions in houses. You can't fall. Like this looks like you should be able to fall, but you're kind of stuck on this one by one tile. Even here, you can't fall. Alright. Lots of different ways, one way out. It's not designed to trap you, it's just designed to kind of slow you down.
Yeah.
Eventually,
and for you to go through a little area that should feel a little fun. I mean, I feel like I pushed the mining bridges and that sort of stuff to sort of the limits. There was a lot of fun parts about making this little area. Oh, I'm stuck, and there's like a little bit of a glitch. There's actually quite a lot of glitches in this area.
One thing
because of
yeah, you can actually fall. You can actually fall down these things.
Yes, there are places where you can fall
right
down.
Here,
yes.
You can actually fall and make it to the very bottom there, and
right.
All of them, I guess, are not the way to go. I'm pretty sure you could fall here too, which is not the way to go.
So if you go through a few doors,
but you'll never get stuck.
You find yourself back at the room. You pick another door. Eventually, you'll pick the right door, which of course is the pottery brick door, which the clue before indicated.
Yeah, you can definitely fall there. So you make it to this hallway. This hallway is supposed to represent that point in the movie where there's that hallway in the oubliette, and she picks the correct way. She knocks down like a wall, and that leads to a ladder that leads up. On all the other ways were just kind of like there was nowhere to go. And it kind of what this hallway turned into. You see a lot of doors, and only one door is correct. It's not really a puzzle as much as it's just the ambiance. I wanted to make this hallway look just better than it could or it should.
Right.
So these fences are locked.
You reminded
this side
me of
and that
something.
side. Yep.
You reminded me of why we wanted this part to be so deep was because we wanted the exit to the oubliette to be that long ladder up, to sort of be the same as in the movie.
And that's why when you get to this door, Look how high that is. Just ladder all the way up. And for some
Right.
reason, 2 bulls. Or maybe 1.
Yeah, I know.
Just 1.
There's no significance to the animals that are down here because they just somehow got themselves stuck. Now, I always get bugged on this, and I saw everybody else getting bugged on this little
Which is,
climb up.
now that I think of it, is great. It's like the Puzzle King pulling you back towards the oubliette. Even though it's just a bug in the game.
One way I figured
I can't get
how to
out.
clear it is if every time you come up a ladder, if you sort of move around a little bit before climbing the next one, it helps. Not perfect, but it helps.
Yeah. Eventually you make it off. And the Puzzle King doesn't...
Just for some people who
keep the
are
grasp on
interested.
you.
Interested, but we used to have this used to be our backdoor entrance. So this dirt wall here was I dug it all the way down so that we could ride a cart into here, and we would bring a cart down this mine. I would bring the cart all the way down those ladders and all the way into that bottom little area in order to get all the materials down there. That's how I basically built that area. It was a pain in the butt.
We built it...
Lots of trips up and down.
We built it kind of backwards. Yeah. This was
Yeah.
the entrance. The exit was the entrance, and then we went in and did it that way.
So
Yeah,
the
that
way
took a long
that if
time.
you're interested in building something like this, what you do is you make a mine like this and you mine it all the way down. You just mine straight down. You take one tile and just go all the way down really far. Actually, we have a video of us doing it. And then once you get down to the bottom, you mine, a couple tiles in, and then you go back to that 1x1 tile and you just build another tile, like build the building straight back up and attach it with a bridge at the top.
Yeah.
So that's how that was done.
That was really annoying. But we did it. All right. You get here. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I wanted to give you 2 options to go. That's why there's 2 doors here. Both options are the wrong way to go. It's like essentially... And I've seen some people go to one, then go to the other, and that's when they realize they need to go down one of these paths. And eventually realize it's this path here. Doesn't take too long for someone to realize that.
Yeah. The other ones are... Now, I've been through this a number of times now.
Yeah.
I still get all messed up about it.
All right. And I think after we get through this building, which is essentially there's just 2 ways to go. One way leads to nothing. The other way leads to the correct way to go. I'm pretty sure this is the one that leads nowhere. And this one does lead up to the top.
Now, is this one of the choices that you said that you have the ability to switch? Is it this
No, I
building?
can't
or
switch this one.
okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, so you make it to the top. You make it into the house that's essentially all doors. And I think people, they don't have the hardest time on this, but they have the most confusing time in it.
Oh,
Let's go down the
I
wrong
have a
way.
hard time on it.
So the psychology here is this. People are going to go straight. Most people. So the straight way is essentially the wrong way. Which is this. People are going to go this way. Maybe this way. They're going to try to make it here. And boom, they fall down. I had 2 choices. This is the secret of this building. Now let me make it down once before I tell the secret of this building. There you are. There's a number of floors on this building, right?
So everywhere you go, there's always a way to go. You never get to a dead end. I
That's
lost where you went, but
Ugh, I just
yeah,
went the wrong way.
that's
Okay.
the beauty of this area.
We're making it to the ground here.
Right. Okay, I made it.
Wait, it's this one.
I'll wait for you here.
No, it's not this one. I keep missing it myself.
And luckily, Retro put a couple of statues of rejuvenations at the end of each journey,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah. So we both work together to figure out the best locations of it. This is where we learned that you can't have a tile inside of a house be a healing tile.
Right.
Yeah. So what is the secret of this place? I'm sure I don't know if people mapped this area out. So this is the wrong drop. There's two ways to go. That way is the correct way, the one with the 2 tiles. The 1 tile is the wrong way. If you get the wrong way, then you're greeted with the other side of that window that we talked about before, where people would be walking down here, along with the sign of Sir Puzzleton saying, "I'm tired of being here. Why am I still alive?" That's in response to, how do I keep falling down and I'm
But I think
alive?
most people take that to be that's exactly how people feel by the time they get to this point.
It's like, I wish I could figure out this code, and I didn't think that this code was cryptic, and I think a lot of people get the code, they just don't know what to do with it. 3R3. What that means is exactly what you think it means. What do you think it means, Adam?
I think it means go 3 forward, turn right, go 3 forward again.
That's exactly what it means.
Right.
It's not
Now,
secretive, so...
I think, though, that what people have an issue with is, where do you start that count from? Right? That's where people have problems.
That's a good question. And you start the count immediately after you get back up.
Right. So you climb back up and you start the count. I've seen people start the count from not here, but from the bridge room.
Yeah, that's not.
And of course, that's going to lead you the wrong.
So let's do it.
All right.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. Turn right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. And there's a fall, which is a different fall than the other one.
So this is where I wanted to bring up, okay, there's lots of levels to this kind of building maze, but the only relevant choice that you can make is the top level.
Right.
And the rest of them, there are no choices.
Once you fall off that top level, you either went the right way or the wrong way.
And the reason is because when I was designing this building, I think at first I had it so people could go either way, and then there's like another couple choices, and then like the final level was the final choice. And I thought, in order for me to accomplish that, every choice that you make up until the end is meaningless. You can fall anyway. No, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if there was 2 choices, but only at the very beginning it mattered, and then the rest of the time you're thinking that it matters. Like, maybe I go this way, but it like no relevance at all. Once you drop down the first level, you've already made up your mind, and you might as well just find your way down.
Right.
So let's do.
And here, there's no more choices. This is a straight path.
Straight hallway, and then a couple choices here.
Is there a couple choices? But I think that they don't matter, right?
It's just a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle. Here. So.
And you make it to the correct way. So once you learn that one statue, or one, what is it called? The sign. Then you're basically know which way to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's if you can find that out. I mean, I think what most people did, they just eventually find their way down. They just struggle
Yeah.
through. And
Now
they
this
make it
next little
weird.
the next little platform, I don't know why, but I love this platform. I don't think it's that like it doesn't stand out very much, but what I love about it is how many different ways you actually can go, even though it doesn't really look like you could actually go that many ways. I see people come right off the bridge and go straight and fall straight, which is actually what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But if you take a second to just think about it,
Yeah.
there's quite a few other options.
Most of it all just leads back to the. It just all leads
Yeah,
back to the residential area.
yeah. But I think the sign gives it away. It's in there, and then, you know, falling into this little area here seems the right thing to do.
So you did use the sign, and the sign did help you. So that's great. That's great to hear. I'm glad that did.
Oh, and Fabricant, I didn't notice that you're in here. Fabricant was the one who finished the labyrinth first.
You did
The
finish
very
it
first
first,
winner. Yes.
which was great to see.
In a record
Alright.
time of 2 hours.
I think this was one of the last clues that I created right here. This is the building that I can change which way is the correct way and which way is not the correct way.
Right.
Although I prefer the way that it is right now.
Me
I don't
too.
prefer the other way.
And I know why.
For a number of
You
things.
prefer- Is it
Yeah.
because of this sign right here?
Yeah, but there's a number of different things. So
Okay.
the left side is closer to the castle, so it's more appealing. You want to be closer to the castle. If you look over, you may be able to see more of what's going on. You see a fence, or sorry, you see a bridge leading into the castle. That way looks great. If I don't know, if you go that way, it looks less appealing. So that's one reason. So the second reason is this riddle. All right, so let's read it.
Right.
If right is right and left is left, then left is right and right is left. What does this mean? Sir Puzzleton. It's confusing enough that if you read it again, you read it out loud.
Sounds like gibberish.
It sounds like it's telling you something that you can't quite figure out what it is.
What's funny though is that I told this riddle to my 7-year-old son, and he got the answer in about 3 seconds.
That's good. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end, it's a 50-50 chance, right? So I think that's
True.
what a lot of people say. Oh, it's a 50-50 chance. I'll just pick this way. But this is what the riddle's supposed to mean. The first part of that riddle is setting the ground rules. So if right is right and left is left. So if right is right, and left is the left way to go,
know.
okay, then left is right. So you can actually say then left is correct.
Right. See, that's the way that you need to read it is
Yeah.
where there's the word right. If you switch that with
Correct.
the meaning like correct, it's correct.
Yeah.
Then you
Whereas,
can see what.
so it's like the first half is like the ground rule. So if this is the case, then, and at that point you just take out the word right. So then left is correct and the correct way is left. So then you look at the sign and it says that way
They're
is
backwards.
right. That way is left. So you have the sign kind of matters. So, and the
Yeah.
reason for that is then I could just swap those two, and then left becomes left and right becomes right. and then the other way becomes true.
But this is the reason why I think that it's better this way, is because these are backwards, and it makes
That's
it
right.
all like everything's just backwards.
Yeah,
Everything's
there's
gibberish and
two
backwards,
reasons
and you're like,
why.
what is going on?
Yeah, there's also another reason why I think this way is better, because if you end up picking this way, and I've seen so many people do this, they go across the bridge, and they go down. Here, come this way.
Okay.
So go down this ladder
Yeah.
all the way down.
Hold on. Why am I not going down? There we go. Okay, there's a door here.
Keep
But
going.
if you miss that door,
Then you go here,
come down
and
here.
you get stuck.
and this door is locked, right?
Yeah, that door's locked. So then you come back up, and you don't see that
Right.
the middle door. You just
Yeah.
pass
If you
it.
don't. Yeah. If you don't
I've
see
seen
that
so
middle
many
door.
people pass it. So when I switched the clue, people would come this way. They would pick the wrong way, like this way, and they would go down. They would miss the door, and then they would come back up, say, "Oh, I guess this way's not the way," and they would end up accidentally picking the right way.
Right.
And then, okay, well, let's just make this way the right way. I don't know if you want to actually show the wrong way, so let's show it from this angle.
Is there a way to show it but come back,
Yeah, kind of.
or
So
you have?
in the end, you fall down. So you go to this middle one and you fall out this door. Same with that building, you fall out. So you can't come back. You made your choice. You go this way, and then you end up inside of this building, which leads you into the castle. And you're really excited. You get into the castle, and there's a sign right away that says, like, "Oh, wow, you made it into the castle." I know it's something about how.
We can show the sign after.
Yeah, I'll show the sign, and then all you do is it's like up one path that leads around and dumps you out this door back to the city. So it's like you almost made it to the end, and I've seen a number of people do that. Make it to the end, go the wrong way. It's the last wrong choice. Yeah.
And yeah, from there you have to go back through the stables and do the whole city all over again in the mine and everything.
Yeah. Hey,
La Wurm says, no dress up today.
I'm
Hey.
not dressing up today, unfortunately. But I do have these snazzy glasses. Huh? I can't see when I'm wearing them, or else I would have them on. All right,
Okay,
so
I forget which the right way.
that path
what-
is not right. Actually, we can show it because we can go through this door. Usually this door is locked.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you'd go here, you'd go through here, and it says, "Oh, you made it into my castle. Was it a piece of cake?" And that's a reference to the movie. Every time someone says in the movie, "Oh, that was a piece of cake," something bad always happens right after that. I don't know if you've watched the movie enough to know that. It's like a running joke. You're like, "Don't say a piece of cake." Even the character starts saying, like, "Why did you say that? Something bad's about to happen."
Yeah.
So you go around. It goes, "Too bad you chose the wrong way." Imagine David Bowie saying, "Oh, ha, ha, ha." And then right back into the.
But here's the thing: is that if you and everybody does this, they see that sign and they go, "Oh no!" and they try to go back
And you can't go back.
and undo it, and you can't go back. There's
no undoing
You're
it.
stuck. There's no undoing it at all, unless you have permissions to walk through that locked door, like we do.
Yeah, if you brought somebody back that first day, you might have experienced the sign switching the next morning, and if you were bringing
Right.
other friends through, you would have gone the wrong way the second time, thinking that you
That's
were going
right.
the right way. Yeah. All right, so let's go the correct way.
Yeah. I find this place interesting in how you made this little path, because it goes through these two buildings, the pottery building, which we've been through before, and the stone building, which you've seen this bridge before because you've come up through this area.
That's right.
But it's all like isolated. Yeah, we were already. Yeah, you're going through.
I was thinking maybe I should destroy this ladder, but I don't know. I just left it there.
Yeah,